Okay, so boys and girls, for grammar this week, we are going to be talking about verb tenses. And we're going to be talking about present and past tense verbs. So verbs in the present tense have either an S ending when we have a singular subject, or do not have an S ending with a plural subject. And we're going to do some examples so you can see what I'm talking about. Most verbs in the past tense have an ed ending to show an action or a state of being in the past. So we add ed to verbs that happen in the past. So here are some examples here. The rocket blasts off. Now blast is in the present tense. It is happening now, and the subject is singular, so we add s. So here, rocket is singular. There's only one rocket. So our verb, which is blast, we add an s to the verb blast, and it becomes blasts. So we have a singular subject, rocket, so we have to add an s to the verb. Rocket blasts. Then here's our second sentence. The rockets blast off. Now, blast is present tense. It's happening now, but we have a plural noun, rockets. So we just have the word blast. We do not add an s to it. The subject is plural, so we do not add s. Now in our third sentence, we have the rockets blasted off yesterday. Blasted is past tense. It happened yesterday. So we add the ed to blasted to show it happened when? Yesterday. Now here are some examples. Let me get to our examples. So I'm going to erase that. So here's my example. A painter paints pictures. Okay. We have, how many painters do we have, boys and girls? How many painters are there, Allison? One painter. So this is a singular noun, singular subject. So this is singular, singular. And so our noun or our verb is present tense. So we have an S on the end of it. Here's our verb, right here. And that is happening now. When is it happening? It's happening now. So this is present tense, present. Now I can also have a sentence like painters paint paintings. Now I ask myself, when is the action happening? When is this taking place? When is it taking place? Allison? It's taking place in the present. Yes. Present. And I'm making sure that my subject, which is painters, this is the subject who the sentence is about. And is that singular or is that plural? Is that singular or plural, Logan? Plural. That's right, that's plural. So then I look at my verb here, and because that is plural, my S is right here. I do not need an S on that verb. Okay? Now I have a third sentence. I'm going to say a painter painted a painting yesterday. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, is this present or past tense? And I ask myself this question: when is this happening, and what ending does the verb have? When is this happening? What ending does the verb have? Gabe?
It happened yesterday.
It happened,
And
yes.
It has an ending of ED.
ED, so it happened in the
Yes.
past, so it's past tense. And my subject and my verb, we call it subject-verb agreement. They have to agree. We don't want them to disagree. We have to have subject-verb agreement. So it happened in the past, so ED is on my verb because it happened in the past. So all of my subjects, these are my subjects. You know what, I'm gonna do it with a different color. I'm gonna do it with my red. I'm gonna do it with red, I think. All of my subjects, these are my subjects, my painter, and they all agree with my verbs. Painter paints, painters paint, painter painted. Those, all of the subjects and the verbs agree with each other. We always have to say, when is the action happening? If it's happening now, boys and girls, and we have a singular subject, we put in S on the verb. Oops. Oh, didn't like that, my book was touching. There. If it's happening now, and our subject already has an S, we don't need another S. If it happened in the past, we had ED to our verb. You see how that works, boys and girls? We would not want to have an S here and an S there. Painters paints paintings. Would that sound right to your ear? That doesn't even sound right to our ear. A lot of times our grammar, it sounds, we can hear if it sounds right or not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to work on our paper, and we have to decide, is it past or present tense on our paper?